It's almost the end of the year and Fujifilm was really kind to us in 2021. So in this video I want to discuss with you my top 3 lenses that were released in 2021 for the Fujifilm X mount system. Let's get started. At number 3 I have the XF70-300mm. Now I haven't made a full review on this lens yet, I'm still working on it and it will be released really soon, but I was very excited when they announced this lens. And actually I got it a few months after it's released. I got a good deal on it used, and it replaced my 55-200mm. The advantage of this lens compared to the 55-200mm is first that it has weather resistance. You will typically use this lens for landscape photography or for travel photography. You might go on a hike and you're not master of the weather, right? So having weather resistance is a real plus for this lens. Also, the focal length that this lens proposes, I believe, is superior to the 55-200 because you have that extra 100mm range for approximately the same weight. So overall, I'm really happy with the XF70-300mm and I can only recommend it to those of you who are looking for a telephoto lens, whether it's for travel, whether it's for landscape photography, where usually you need to hike, you need to move around, and you need something compact that you can bring with you anywhere. Alright, so now let's move to my number 2, which is the XF18mm f1.4 that I'm using right now to film this video. So believe it or not, when this lens was released, I was not convinced at all. I used to own the XF16mm f1.4 and I did not see at the time the actual need for the 18mm f1.4 in the Fujifilm lineup. So out of curiosity, I just went to Fujifilm Plaza and I rented the 18mm f1.4 at first just to make a comparison between the 16mm f1.4 and the 18mm f1.4. I did not plan on, buying this lens at all. That was not the goal. But the more I used the 18mm f1.4 and the more I saw that while it cannot focus as close as the 16mm f1.4 and doesn't have that manual clutch mechanism to engage the manual focus, the 18mm f1.4 has an aperture lock and can render up to 40 megapixels, which supports the new sensor announced by Fujifilm for 2022. So those are the reasons why I decided to go for the 18mm f1.4 and sell my 16mm f1.4. Future-proofing and better autofocus. If you want to know more about my comparison between the 16mm f1.4 and the 18mm f1.4, I invite you to check the video right here where I go more in detail in that comparison. Alright, so before we move to my number 1, if you enjoyed the video so far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach again 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and your help would be really appreciated. Thank you so much, and let's move to number 1 now. Okay, so if you've been watching this channel for a while, I think that my number 1 will not be a surprise to you, and it's the XF33mm f1.4. The 33mm f1.4 has quickly become, over the past month and a half that I've been using it, my most used lens. I use it for street photography, for portrait sessions, and also for product photography. It offers a really versatile focal length, and I'm so happy that I could get my hands on it. This is the only lens that I own that I pre-ordered actually, because I really wanted this lens. It solves pretty much all the issues that I had with the 35mm f1.4, and while it is not a perfect lens, I believe that it's a great lens, and honestly I cannot imagine my workflow nowadays without this lens. If you want more details about this particular lens, check out this video right here, where I detail basically what is good and what is bad about the lens, and whether or not it might be good for you. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and before I leave you, let me know in the comment what are your favorite products that were released by Fujifilm this year. I am super excited by what Fujifilm will bring us in 2022, and I can't wait to get there. Thank you again for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you've missed it, check out this video right here where I talk about the 33mm f1.4 in more details. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!